Hello, my name is Manish Gupta, and I'm the General Manager for the Data Center and Compute Solutions organization at Dell Technologies in India. It's my absolute pleasure and privilege to be here with all of you. It's just a miracle of the communications industry and technology that over the last 9 months of pandemic, we have all been able to work seamlessly from wherever we have been, either home or elsewhere. And I think that should be the focus of our conversation today. So, what I'm going to talk to you today really is about the next gen connectivity, the new data networks that are coming in place. What should be the considerations, what should be the priorities, and how they're all going to come together to allow us to create new operational models and business models. Data, we have been talking enough about the fact, and it's a cliche now that data is the new oil, and the fact that you know there is so much of goodness that organizations can get and consumers can get by utilizing the data that's available in the world. What would not thus be very surprising to each one of us here is that data has been growing at a phenomenal pace. A lot of this is on account of the fact that new age technologies such as artificial intelligence, IoT, and even 5G are really allowing customers to consume as well as create data at a phenomenal pace. What used to be about 40 zettabytes till about a year back is expected to grow to 175 zettabytes in a span of another 5 years. That, ladies and gentlemen, is a growth that's at the tune of four and a half times in just a span of 5 to 6 years. And the reason why this is happening is because of the number of interactions that are happening between the devices, between humans and devices, or any other sort of interaction that's happening on the edge or any of the digital interactions. By the way, as we look into future and we are looking at the 175 zettabytes of 5 years down the line in 2025, the reality is that more than half of this data will get created by the IoT devices. Various estimates today put IoT device population to be in multiples of billions. The last that I read was about 50 billion is where we would have the IoT devices in a span of another about a year or so. Now, majority of the data, more than half of that is being created because of those interactions. Close to half of this data will reside on the cloud. I think what I find more interesting, however, is the fact that one third of this data, 30% of this data, will actually be consumed real time. And imagine when we are talking about 30% of 175 zettabytes, we are saying more than what we have existing today will get analyzed, will get consumed real time. And both of these things really require us to look at different computational models and look at different transport network models. And that is why the next gen connectivity becomes that much more critical in not just consuming, but being able to support the analysis and insights from the data that's getting consumed, generated in various forms and fashions. Don't be surprised, I'm sure you would not be, with the next data point that's the fact that the number of digital interactions that human beings have today will go from 800 to 5,000 just in a span of about 5 years. Again, some of these data points are a little bit old. Do not be surprised given the pandemic and the work from home. Maybe we are already getting closer to that, or the same data might be happening 3 years earlier. So what we are seeing is a tsunami of all of these factors coming together in creating this huge data deluge. And this data deluge requires us to have a different, a next gen way of looking at the world around us. Uh, we've all been talking about 5G and how that's going to change the world. Let's look at a couple of fundamental changes that are happening. Uh, it's not a small move from 4G to 5G. The demands that consumers have always put on the mobile industry, which has pushed them to innovate significantly every single decade, is really taking us now on a leapfrog from 4G to 5G, where things are changing at a drastic level. You know, in 5G, we now have a wireless network which is composable, which is automated and fully scalable. That's a network infrastructure that actually is able to meet the high performance needs of tomorrow's demanding consumer, the needs of IoT, the needs of mission critical services. And while it does all of this, it makes it easy to build and deploy and manage and operate all the new end-to-end applications. That's really the power that 5G is bringing in, or the next gen connectivity is bringing in, and that's what's really disruptive. If you were to compare it vis-a-vis the last generation, there are three key things that really differentiate 5G. First and foremost is the enormous amount of capacity that 5G is able to bring in. Number two is the ultra low latencies, and number three is connectivity everywhere. So all of this really helps keep the user experience continuity, uh, be able to support the billions of IoT devices, and deliver those mission critical services that are not getting adequately supported by the networks of today. Some data points that you see here talking about 1,000 times mobile data volume or the reliability at 5 nines, energy efficiency and the end-to-end latency becoming that much better. All of these are factors which will really allow this transition to provide improved latencies and equally the quality of service, which will enable a new wave of services, including mobile broadband, including connected cars, drones, smart retail, industrial robots. There are so many more that will just get spawned purely because of this impending transition. And that is what makes this new world so much more exciting from a connectivity standpoint. We've also got to remember that as a technology, it's a significant amount of change. This is the first time that in the wireless world, the foundational architecture is completely software defined. And what that does is it allows the entire journey to be transformational. It's not going to be overnight, and we all know that, but it will allow new services and applications that will drive new architectural, technical, and operational models, forcing things to be done differently from before, right from design to implementation to operations. The new operational models will have to leverage APIs, software programmability to a level that's not yet been seen in networking, even in the software defined world that we see today. The separation of control and user planes will happen not just at the macro level, at the network level, but even at the micro level, that's a VNFs. So there is a significant shift that's coming in. This paradigm shift is what will create decentralization of the infrastructure. The boundaries between network switches or gateways, termination points, and servers will tend to dissipate over a period of time. What we currently think of as data plane of a virtual network function running on compute will move to the network switches, and what we think of network data plane will now extend it to servers. So just think of it that there is a significant amount of decentralization that's happening within the infrastructure. Now, as that happens, that will also create disaggregation of different layers. So we are actually moving to a decentralized infrastructure. We are moving to a disaggregated layers. We are moving to very open architectures. And these will become the key design principles in this new world, which is a significant paradigm shift as compared to what we have been seeing. And talking about data that I was talking just a little while back, the operations will be driven by data, and the need to capture, process, and react to network data in real time will give rise to stuff like machine learning. Now we know machine learning is there. There's a lot of stuff happening around AI and machine learning, but it's still in infancy. It's still going to take a while to get to a very mature stage. But technologies like 5G will now push innovation to happen more and more in the on stuff around machine learning in the network side. What we need to remember here is, given all of the shifts and changes, both tech and operational and business, uh, all the service providers and customers and enterprises will now need to look at partnerships with system integrators, with OEMs, with folks who really understand these domains. Some of the erstwhile data center domains are now, or technologies are getting closer and closer and will become that much more powerful in the new network world. And hence, those partnerships and those models will need to be created where we are able to leverage onto one another's strength to ensure that we are able to create the new world, which will be truly disaggregated, truly software defined, and will be able to support newer applications and new service models for our consumers. Taking this a little forward, and we spoke about data, we spoke about next gen connectivity. Let's see how this, along with adjacent technological advances, the emerging technologies can really differentiate and be a true value creator for organizations, for enterprises. Let me just show this picture to you here. What this is truly is a virtuous cycle where we are able to capture data at the source, and think of edge as a place where data is truly getting created. Now, by definition, it could be in banking and financial sector. It could just be a credit card. In healthcare, it could be a human being who is wearing wearables. So edge is really where the data is getting created in the physical world. Capturing data at edge using IoT to convert all of that data, in all of that physical world data, into streams of machine data, and throwing it over next gen networks, something that we have spoken with ultra high latencies. I'm sorry, ultra low latencies with extremely high bandwidths, pushing those into artificial intelligence models. And we have seen enormous amount of innovation happen around AI. There's a lot of stuff that's happening there, given the fact that now we have fuel in terms of data, we have got engine in terms of computing power, and we have got these new gen algorithms which are able to analyze all of the humongous amount of data that's coming in at an enormous pace. uh, Taking it through to the multi cloud, so that we are able to build agile and efficient models of running and deploying these applications. So this is truly a virtuous cycle where one is able to capture the data at source, take it through the system, analyze, and thus be able to feed it back to create newer models. And that's really the model by which true value creation can happen for organizations, for enterprises, and true new use cases can come in for consumers. So, ladies and gentlemen, let me just bring it all back together. We start talking about data at the base at which data is getting created, how next gen connectivity is very different in bringing more capacity, lower latency, and connectivity everywhere. What are the key priorities? What are the key elements that need to be looked at from technological deployment, and how new data models can be, or rather, new business models can be created by bringing, uh, by capturing data at source and taking it through the virtuous cycle of analysis. As I said earlier, this is going to be a journey. This is not something that's going to happen overnight. And within this journey, you would need partners who understand this really well. As Dell Technologies, we are the biggest and the largest when it comes to the end-to-end business product portfolio, but equally understanding of various business models, of having the right skills in terms of consulting, in terms of sharing knowledge by working through various verticals and organizations and countries. We would love to be your partner in this journey. We would love to work with you to make you the digital disruptor in your industries. Please do let us know how we can contribute to your success. Thank you. You have a good day and have great learning during these sessions. Thank you.